2. And so this week we're going to talk about the kind of the what is it. And next week we're going to talk about the whys, like why do this over that and vice versa. So the second commandment is about idolatry, but it's also about reciprocity versus idolatry. It's about interdependence versus codependence, and it's about investment versus vampirism. And that's really the key right there. That is the key. And we can just call it a wrap at this point, but I'm gonna keep going. So the commandment says, you shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, or the earth beneath, or in the waters below. And like I said last week, we are all different perspectives or viewpoints of the source energy or God or whatever name you use for it. And to create things that are true to you and true for you and to and the best for you and to the highest good of all involved, you have to create it out of self-love, love of your inner self, which is your God self. And as I write this, it's like I have to pause because this is truly a formula that could be used for good or bad. And I had the same pause last week too, and I totally revamped the video before putting it out. I also did the same thing with that this weekend as well. So it's just that I learned in my personal experience that sharing things with people with good intentions to help them, especially when it's clear they need it, if they are not ready, they will use it for more hurt and pain to themselves and to others. So it does make me pause and remember to keep things short and shallow. There will be a deeper project on these concepts in the future, but I'm not sure what or how I want to share it at this point. So anyway, I'm going to put it like this for now. You're one whole being and usually undivided as you enter into this experience, into this world. And you're only loving yourself, caring about yourself because it's all that you know how to do. And as a side note, this is also a description of the Aries energy that we all embody and play out in life, because we display and we experience every astrological energy there is. And people who believe in astrology being about their sun sign or the signs that have planets in them are taking a very religious and superstitious perspective of the topic, when it actually represents real life, real things, like a baby who cries and acts a fool because they don't know what's wrong. They just know it don't feel good, like a wet diaper and hunger and loneliness. And as I continue to go through these commandment things or formulas, I'm going to continue to point out the astrological concepts that's being represented that are actual real life experience that not some, but every human being goes through, just so we can all get an understanding on how these things are connected, and also so we can see how we've been deceived. So like this, we are one whole, undivided, and undivided when we start. Idolatry is to love or admire anything outside of ourselves more than ourselves. So how do we know when we've tiptoed into that part of idolatry? Okay, it's when we're investing our attention or power to something external to us more than our internal self. I'm not going to go deep. I'm just going to say this and end it. Okay, so is it idolatry? We can ask this. Is there reciprocity? You're giving and taking energy evenly to and from this thing, or are you just giving? And that would be idolatry and being unevenly yoked. Is it interdependent or codependent? Is it equally feeding into you or just vampirism and leeching? I'll see you all next week when we talk about the legacy or the curse we leave when we choose one of these over the other.